Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Slice of Gaming podcast, episode 90, very big milestone for March 22nd, 2025. Pretty light news week, but we got a lot of game releases, some game reviews that I wanted to go over, and I got two very special guests to help me break it all down. I'm the Uncharted Wolf, and I am joined today by Fusion.
No, happy to be back. It's been a few weeks.
Fusion, how are we feeling about that Death Stranding 2 trailer? Just real quick.
Really good. I only wanted to watch it once, and then I got caught up in watching reactions to it. So, I've seen the trailer probably 3 to 4 times now, but it was really good.
I can't imagine watching that trailer and not wanting to see everyone's reaction. I'm also joined by Jackie G.
Please don't ask me about the Death Stranding 2 trailer.
Oh, it's okay, Jack. I won't put you on the spot. Did you not watch it?
No, Ben said it was full of spoilers for the first game, so I thought I'd skip it.
When you think you'd get to the first game anytime soon before 2, or are you just like, save
Nah,
another time?
I'd rather play through all the Metal Gear games first.
Hey, you know what? I'm not complaining about that. All right. Well, boys, we got a very, like I said, light news week, but some fun topics, some discussions that we could very much have. If you want to find us, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, every podcast platform. We're going to be on there. Like the podcast, any type of support helps, and follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming. Without further ado, I think we could just jump right into it. First and foremost, a new PlayStation studio got announced. Not every day this happens, but there's a caveat to this one. Jordan Midler at VGC has this. PlayStation has formed new studio Dark Outlaw Games with Call of Duty Zombies lead Jason Blundell. Sony has formed a new first-party studio. Former Treyarch co-studio head Blundell was one of the lead creators of Call of Duty Zombie Mode before leaving Activision in 2020 after 13 years. He would then serve as one of the co-founders of Deviation Games. Deviation Games didn't get a chance to release its debut project, an original IP that was set to be exclusive to PlayStation platforms. In an interview with Jeff Gertzman, Blundell confirmed that the studio is, quote, staffing up and that he would have more to share on the studio's first project in the future. Had the amazing opportunity to create a new studio within PlayStation Studios for Sony, Blundell said. The studio is called Dark Outlaw. We've been working away in the shadows for a while. When we've got something to talk about, we'll step out into the light. It's such a privilege to be able to do it with Sony as a new first-party studio. So Sony doesn't start up first-party studios all the time, so to have that privilege is humbling. So, as the article kind of reiterates, it's like, we knew this studio kind of existed, from the ashes of Deviation Games. We knew Jason Blundell had a studio within I think, what was it, San Diego, if I remember correctly. That was where it's located right now. And we kind of knew about this second San Diego studio for a while with Jason Blundell. It's just they never announced it, and to have it basically be announced via a Jeff Gertzman interview is very weird. I don't know why Sony doesn't just, and I don't know why Sony does the secret studio thing, because also they have another secret studio that they just won't announce a game exists. But Fusion, you and me have been the ones to talk about this secret studio for a while. Kind of, what's your read on this situation? I know you're a big Jason Blundell fan as well.
Yeah, like you said, it was very weird that PlayStation still themselves hasn't really came out and be like, here's this new studio. We now have it's on the PlayStation website, so it is official. But it is weird that he was just able to come out on the podcast and be like, hey, this is what we are. I wonder if he did get the green light to do that, or if he just decided to do it and the PlayStation was like, whatever, okay, we're just gonna put the thing on the site, so people know it's actually real.
Yeah.
I am excited. I think the name is whatever. We talked about the name a little bit in the Discord. It sounded okay. It doesn't scream PlayStation first party to me. But also every name under the sun feels like it's taken for studios. The logo's really cool. And as Jason, his work, I'm not a huge COD Zombies fan, but I know he is the COD Zombie guy. The best COD Zombies came from his mind. He didn't just work on Zombies. He worked on Call of Duty as a whole. He had a little bit in the campaign. He has really good writing. When he comes to the zombie writing and the Easter eggs and all that, that was Jason at the time. So I'm excited to see what they do in a writing standpoint. It's obviously probably going to be a shooter, if I had to guess, because that's what he's done for 20 years of his work. Do you feel super confident after he co-founded Deviation Games and they put nothing out there? Not necessarily, but
yeah.
I think PlayStation. I don't think PlayStation would greenlight a studio for the first time in how long? When's the last? Do either of you know when the last founded studio from PlayStation was?
Founded is different. I know the last studio purchase I think was Haven.
Yeah,
So I
but
might
like,
be
when the
wrong.
last time PlayStation from scratch
Um,
created their own?
I mean, a long time. I can check right now, but you can continue talking. I'll
Was
try
it
to see if
Neon
I can.
Koi?
I don't know if they founded them. Might be. They
Hmm.
might have. I could check real
I would
quick.
say because I think that was 2020, but I'm not sure. But yeah, it's like it is like he says. It's not every day you see a PlayStation Studio just be formed. So I think PlayStation has some type of confidence. This isn't a situation where they saw Haven and we're like, okay, we're gonna buy Haven. This is a situation where PlayStation built the studio from the ground up. It seems like. Was it a lot? If I had to guess, I would say it's a lot of people from Deviation Games maybe came over with Jason and like they started the studio from there. But at least in some form, PlayStation was here from the ground up compared to with the Havens, with the who's making the other live service game? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Like even with
Oh,
Housemark,
I was about to say Firewalk. They're gone.
yeah. But yeah, like Fire Sprite.
Fire Sprite's not making a live service though. They were the rumor is Until Dawn 2 for them.
Yeah. Well, either way, it's like with those studios, it's like PlayStation saw those studios, saw what they were working on, and then grabbed them. You know what I mean? Like with this
Yeah.
studio, it's like no, PlayStation built this from the ground up. As what it seems, like they went through there and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna make a new studio. We're gonna pick Jason as the head, and we're gonna build from inside the house compared to going outside and just grabbing a studio."
Yeah, no, exactly. It's interesting to see them basically. I'm glad that they effectively took the scraps from Deviation Games because like it was like something that I was very interested in to see what they could do because hey, we're a lot of like former Treyarch devs or making a shooter. It's like oh, I want to see PlayStation because I'm still of the mind like I want to see PlayStation do a first person shooter. Like I find it weird that like in their portfolio they don't have a single first person shooter. They had one, but it's gone now. So like an actual new successful one in that style would be so interesting for PlayStation. But it's also just the case of like they keep closing them, they keep reshifting these games and canceling stuff. Maybe this is the one that can actually get all the way through. And I'm also looking right now to check what's it called? The
The
last
last one.
studio that they opened. So what you said about Neon Koi was founded in 2020. They were bought by Sony in 2022.
Okay.
From what I can see, I might be wrong about this. I think the last studio they founded was Pixel Opus, who did Concrete Genie.
And that was like
They
2014 or something.
Yeah,
they
2014 they were founded.
they founded a studio, Malaysia studio, support studio in 2020, if that counts.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's like support. I think like what Fusion was talking about was like a development studio branch type joint.
Well,
Either way,
Yeah,
it's either been
totally.
5 years or 10 years. So like either way, this
Exactly.
doesn't happen every day with PlayStation.
I want to get you on the record, Jack. What's kind of your thought process on this whole studio announcement?
I don't really have many thoughts on it. Probably
Mhm.
because Sony just kind of the announcement came from a podcast. I do wonder like what kind of game they're working on. Like, wasn't Deviation's game a live service? So this probably is as well, right? So
I mean, that's a possibility for sure.
yeah, so that kind of just it's hard for me to really get excited for this.
No, that's
Was
fair.
Deviation? Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead. No,
Was
go ahead.
Deviation the Do you guys remember that one leak? It was probably maybe a year and a half ago. It was like the space shooter, like the sci-fi shooter that like briefly leaked and like you showed the character
Oh,
walking in third person. Was that Deviation Project or was that something else?
I don't think so. I thought that was. May have been confusing that with Sony Santa Monica, but I might be wrong about that. God, what was that game? I feel like I
I
know
don't
what you're
know.
talking about.
Yeah, I feel like it
But
was
it's like I
it
can't
was
picture it.
it was talked about for like one day, but I swear it was like it was like a third person shooter set in space, and I swear it was Deviation, but I could just be wrong. I swear it was like Deviation's approach on like doing some um but I don't know, it doesn't seem right because Deviation we knew were like they were doing that live servicing. We always thought Deviation was gonna do like Call of Duty for PlayStation.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting if they decided, hey, we're gonna go third person with whatever is going on with Dark Outlaw games. I doubt it, just because Jason Blundell has so much Call of Duty experience. I feel like you'd want to dig into that first person shooter roots. But I mean, I'll ask this: do you guys think this is maybe from a pre-established IP, or is this like brand new?
That's what they said, right?
Oh, did they say new?
I think.
may have
Well,
missed it.
no, I thought maybe I'm wrong, but I swear Insider Gaming said that they were working on a pre-established Sony IP.
No, that you're thinking of the
I
what
am
was it?
thinking of
People
People
Can
Can
Fly.
Fly. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
And even then, with
Speaking,
People Can Fly, I was looking into that, and God, what was it? The way it was worded in the financial document was less, hey, we're working on a pre-established Sony IP, and more so, we are working on an IP owned by Sony. So it's very much possible, like, this is an IP that's going to be retained by Sony, but it's a new thing from People Can Fly. But it also could just be a pre-established IP. That's a chance. But Jack, you were going to say something?
I said this could actually just be the same game as the People Can Fly one. They could just be co-developing it because People Can
That's
Fly
true.
announced the Xbox project, and it turned out it was just a co-development in terms of for Gears E-Day. So there's no reason that this actually couldn't just be the same game.
That's a very good point because People Can Fly. A lot of their work is support studio. Like it was
They're very similar.
Outriders. Yeah, I feel like Outriders and maybe like 2 other games are like from scratch them by themselves. I feel like everything else they put out is kind of support.
Yeah, there is a lot of it.
They're working on a bunch of shit right now to the point where it's like, I don't really know how you're able to take on this many projects as, let's be honest, not like a major AAA studio. Like they're big, but they're not like big, you know.
Yeah, how many do? Oh well, I mean apparently to this, it's roughly 500 people, which is pretty big.
Okay, what, dude? What are they doing?
Yeah, apparently. Well, this was from December 2024. There were roughly 500 people, but also they laid off 120. So I don't know if that 500 is before or after the layoff number, but either way, that is way bigger than I thought People Can Fly had.
How do you have 500 people and you develop Bulletstorm? Like that's what you're proud of? I'm sorry, I just like making fun of Bulletstorm.
Bulletstorm was like
Uh,
forever ago.
they have Lost Rift, Project Bifrost, Project Bison, Project Echo, and Project Delta. Delta is the Sony Interactive Entertainment one. Echo is Krafton, and I don't know. Bison is the VR game, and then Bifrost is something else. I
Yeah,
don't know what one.
Maverick ended up being Gears. To be
Yeah.
fair, like one of the I don't know if Lost Rift has been confirmed that it's not one of the other two. Like that could be Bifrost. I honestly don't know. I know that a lot of it they're self-publishing intentionally, but then they kind of pulled back on that. So I'm not exactly sure what the state of those games is in at the moment.
Okay, I just have to be honest with you guys right here. Like, fucking People Can Fly. Why do they have so many projects? Okay, these are your games. Painkiller in 2004, a game no one has ever heard of. Bulletstorm, a game nobody gives a shit about. Gears of War Judgment, the Gears of War game nobody likes. Outriders, a game people forced themselves to like because there was nothing else to play on
I
Game
like
Pass.
that game.
Yeah, but it's because it was on Game Pass. It was like,
I
oh, this is
bought
a
it for
great Game Pass
$70
game.
on PlayStation
I
day
think that's
one.
on PlayStation. I'm sorry, dog. I just, what is the like notion that People Can Fly is this all-star developer? Like, oh, we gotta have them make something for us. Like,
I don't
I
think
don't know.
they're all star. I think they're just. I think they're quality enough at putting out shooters. I think they're shooting. I think you can like hate on those games. I think at the end of the day, the shooting in those games feel good. Like that's one of the reasons I liked Outriders is because like the shooting feels good in Outriders. Sure, I cannot remember a story or a single character in that, but I think the world building and the shooting was really good. I've never played, and I've played a little bit of Judgment, which Gears like always has good shooting. So like I feel like when you work with People Can Fly, you're at least at the core getting a good shooting game. You might not get everything else great, but at least if you're like someone like Sony, you can work with the world building, hey the story. Let us handle that. You just make good core gameplay, and I feel like that's why people work with People Can Fly because People Can Fly has good gameplay. They might not have everything else, but at the core of the game, they're fun.
I just feel like they're the masters of sevens, where it's like I
I
cannot
would
imagine a
agree.
situation where they ever release an 8.
I would
And
agree
maybe
there.
it's I don't know. It's just like maybe I'm being too harsh on them. I also think maybe people work with them because they're probably cheap. I hate to say it, but it's like they're probably a lot cheaper than most AAA studios. It is interesting. I do remember seeing Project Bison. That's their VR game. Apparently, that's supposed to be their last VR game. I'm surprised they're still sticking with VR in any way, even if it is their last one. Because it feels like VR is almost like not worth sticking with. But hey, I mean, I guess they see something there. But yeah,
like,
I don't know. Oh, sorry, good.
I would just say because they just announced Lost Rift yesterday, so like,
Oh,
and I honestly thought it looked pretty good. Like it's a survival, like it's gonna be one of those survival PvE PvP games, which like I know isn't everyone's cup of tea, but like for me and my friends, we like
yeah.
survival games. So like I thought it looked from the at least decent like minute trailer they showed. I thought it looked pretty fun. Who knows if it's like actually gonna be anything wonderful, but like it comes to early access later this year, so I could see them. That's like the furthest I've seen them stretch from like all their other games. Like that's the one game where I'm like, oh, I would have never guessed People Can Fly was making this.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm watching the trailer right now. This looks like it could be like a game that catches on.
I thought
Very
it was
curious
Arc
about it.
2 at first. 'Cause they
It
like
kind of does look like Arc 2, honestly.
they had like a
What,
bow and they were shooting some like dinosaur looking thing. I was like, is this Arc 2 right now?
completely separate aside, where is Arc 2? It just got
Dead in
kind
the
of
water.
disappeared. Oh man,
Vin
that's
Diesel
funny.
probably quit.
He's like, I'm done with this. All right. Well, shout outs to PlayStation Studios. We got a brand new studio out of them. Moving into something completely different. Life is Strange Double Exposure, released last year, got some mixed reviews, for lack of a better word. Eurogamer has this article from Tom Phillips. Life is Strange Double Exposure was a, quote, large loss for Square Enix report. The latest Life is Strange game did not perform well for publisher Square Enix. Double Exposure, which launched last autumn to a mixed response from fans, resulted in large losses for the company. Kabuton analyst Hideki Yasuda stated. Officially, Square Enix is yet to comment on Double Exposure's performance, and there's been no word on Double Exposure's sales figures publicly at all. Deck Nine, the game developer, previously announced layoffs at the studio in the wake of the game's launch, and it's unclear what's next for the franchise, despite Double Exposure ending with a message stating that protagonist Max Caulfield would return. Oh my god, I can't believe they did the Marvel sting for this game.
And I didn't even know that happened. Still knows.
Yeah, it's crazy. Eurogamer just fucking spoiled it. What the hell?
Yeah. It's kind
To
of
be fair,
crazy.
Jack was talking about it in the Discord because obviously he's the rep for Life is Strange Double Exposure, I suppose, and he was not a fan. So
A lot of people were not very happy on that game. But yeah, I mean, I know you're a Life is Strange fan. Are you a fan of Life is Strange, Fusion? Actually, I forget.
Yeah, I've played them all, but this one,
Okay,
I
yeah.
do really like the games.
Is there a thought of like, is this kind of it for the franchise, considering how badly this one seems to have done? First, now granted, it's a Square Enix, but still, this one very much seems like it did the weakest of all of them.
I don't think so. I think my thing is like, for one, I gotta play this one at some point to like see where I land on it because it is like the one where it's like you either hate it or you love it. It seems. I was never like I think Max is fine as a protagonist. So like when Max returned, I was like, okay, like whatever, like she's back, and it's kind of crazy to say she's gonna be back again. Like I don't like Max that much to want her, but like I'd rather have Alex from like True Colors show back up or something. But that's besides the point. I think Life is Strange still is too big as an like a noticeable IP. Like people, even just like your casual gamers, really like Life is Strange games. Like they see Life is Strange and they're like, oh, I know what Life is Strange is. So even if Square Enix was like, we're done with this, I couldn't see a world where there wasn't another Life is Strange game. Like someone else, like some other dev might be like, hey, can we buy this from you? Or like I feel like Life is Strange at least has one more game in them. If that also like colossally flops, then maybe like it goes down. But I think Life is Strange still at its core. Like when the games are good, they sell well, and it's an IP that is noticeable in the industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely seems like something that could come back, depending on like where the winds change and whatnot. It definitely. I don't think the next Life is Strange would get published by Square Enix. I think they're just kind of done with their Western branch at this point. They're noticing how each of the games keeps it. And the thing is, they sold off the ones that could make money. They sold off Hitman already, like years ago. They sold Tomb Raider. It kind of tells me they kept Gex, which is funny. But like, I think it's the case of like, they're like, yeah, we can't really do much more with our Western branch. Let's just kind of retire it for now. Maybe in the far future we come back, but it's like, let's focus on our Japanese game development, which we've seen is also struggling in that sector.
I was gonna say I would actually feel more confident in Life is Strange's IP if they could leave Square Enix. Like if Square Enix would stop publishing them, I think I would feel more confident in the next Life is Strange game.
I can honestly say that about every IP as if they get away from Square Enix, but hey.
And like Square Enix was probably like, we want Life is Strange Double Exposure to sell 10 million copies. Knowing them, they're
What?
like,
It
we want
is
them to
40 million?
yeah.
Cut it.
Like it's
I
not
don't
up there with Hogwarts Legacy. We can't have that. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know if you guys caught this story, and there wasn't like a great source behind it. I think it was from the same analyst, Hideki Yasuda. But apparently, since launch, FF16 only released 500,000 units, which, even if that's not an exact number, it's a little more or a little less. It's like, that's still not great. Like, you would expect something like that to have a longer tail. And it almost tells me it's like, the fans bought the game at launch and then like it's maybe picking up a few stragglers from there, but I'm a little worried about the Final Fantasy IP, like where it's trending.
And you're just sugarcoating it. It's not great. That is shit. If 500,000 was the actual real number, I mean, come on, dude. We're talking about one of the biggest. Supposedly, Binks tells me every day Final Fantasy is the biggest thing in the world, and every day I look and it just doesn't. No one plays it. So like someone's lying.
That's the thing. It was the biggest thing for a while, at least coming out of Japan. It's like Final Fantasy was huge when it came to like the 7 to 10 era. Like it was massive, but the problem is it's like just constant mess ups from Square Enix and long development cycles. It constantly changing up the gameplay to the point where it's like it's just a different franchise. I think just most fans are like, I don't really need to stick with this. And it's not getting new people because at the end of the day, no one wants to pick up a game that has 16 in the title. Like, it's like, oh, is this the first one?
I not even kidding. Just had to explain that to a friend yesterday. I told him, like, he asked me because he just upgraded his PC. He asked me for games. And I was like, play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And he goes, I mean, not Rebirth, Remake. And he goes, I haven't played the first 6. I'm like, you don't have to. Like, you can just jump into it. That's the thing about Final Fantasy. For the most part, they're all different entries. You just jump in at whatever number you want.
Yeah. And then Bob came into the call. It's like, no, you have to play the original Final Fantasy VII first to get it. It is. I say all this as like, I want to see a future where Final Fantasy is big again, but it's like, I feel like you just got to reboot it. And like reboot it in the sense of like, don't put a 17 next to the next entry. Just
drop the numbers.
Yeah, it's just like, because I had that same thing when I was watching the Game Awards with my friends and like Rebirth was winning awards, and their thought was, how are there so many Final Fantasy games? Like it's like, man, yeah, that's a good point. Because no one says, how are there so many Mario games? Because like Mario doesn't have like Mario 18, but like Final Fantasy, it's like 16 of these. It's always like confusing to a lot of people. And the thing about Square Enix that frustrates me is like they don't utilize their other IP. It's like you're gonna get diminishing returns from Final Fantasy if that's all you focus on. You have Nier. Nier Automata sold 8 million copies. That's a very popular franchise that can do a lot more if you actually put the money behind it. Now, granted, that a lot of that comes from Yoko Taro. He's kind of a patient guy. He takes a while to make his stuff. But you have stuff like Dragon Quest that you're not utilizing a lot. You have all these franchises, but you keep just re-releasing Final Fantasy games, remaking those, and it's like Chrono Trigger is right there. Do an HD 2D, but nope, they're gonna wait on that. It's like I don't personally understand the strategy of Square Enix, honestly. I guess we can move into our next story. More JRPG stuff. Persona 4 RE.jp was registered a few hours ago. This was yesterday. Faz has this. 2 years ago, Persona P3 RE.jp was registered. 3 months later, Persona 3 Reload was revealed. So very much this kind of tells me Persona 4 Remake is most likely being made. Now, this is a little bit of a caveat. This has been a thing before. People can just add whatever trademark they can and just do it for the shits and giggles when it comes to like Japanese trademarking. But I kind of am of the mind as like, yeah, this does seem like it's Persona 4 Remake. Now I say this, Atlas, you gotta slow down, man. I haven't even played Metaphor yet. Come on, man. I don't want another Persona game to play. Jack, you got any interest in this Persona 4 Remake, whatever it is? Do you think it's real?
Probably real, probably not coming out for a while.
100%, yeah. It feels like the year after you release 2 Persona style games. It's like, please, like, let's calm down for a bit.
Like, what's the
Um,
like? Like, are people asking for this? Like, are there people out there being like, Persona 4 need a remake?
no, yeah, it's a lot more people than you think.
Yeah,
Persona
I
3
think
got a remake, and 4 is like the only one that's not like in a visual style like 5.
Mm.
it'd be nice if
Jesse,
they
you
went
guys?
back for the first two, but they're not going to.
Yeah, the first 2 are just so different that they almost kind of feel more like Shin Megami Tensei games. But yeah, shout out to Persona 4 remake. Just wanted to shout that out. It was interesting. Like I said, very slow news week. Mario 64 has this one. Microsoft briefly posted a new Xbox UI mockup that includes a Steam Games filter. According to sources, Microsoft is working on an Xbox app update, currently in early stages, that shows every game installed on your PC, including Steam and Epic Games Store titles. So very much they kind of posted this mock-up image onto the internet. I think it was part of an ad, opening a billion doors with Xbox. And then one of the things that people noticed is that there is a Steam overlay, kind of lending credence to the rumor that like whatever the next Xbox is effectively going to be a PC box with like Steam integration, Epic Game Store, all that type of stuff. This is so much like outside of my wheelhouse. I'm not really sure everything that all the Xbox rumors and consoles and whatever their next handheld that they're supposedly making with Asus. There's a lot there. I don't know how you guys kind of feel about this. If this type of thing would interest you, or you would just get a PC. So tell me all about it.
Um, from someone who already PC games, I don't think. Like, to me, this reads, yeah, I think the next Xbox will have some type of Steam integration. I think that's what they want to do. From being an already PC gamer, this doesn't do much for me anyways, because this is just one of those scenarios where they want you to use the Xbox app on your PC, and one way to kind of persuade players to doing that is having your Steam games show up on the Xbox app. So then you can just load them to the Xbox app, have your Xbox games there, your Epic game stuff there, your Steam, it's everything in one launcher, which would be nice. But so many people are already committed to Steam that they would rather just throw their Xbox games into their Steam list or just use Xbox whenever they're playing an Xbox game. Like, I feel like this isn't going to be that big of a deal for like new PC players, and for that new Xbox, this would be cool. But for your millions of PC players that are already out there, none of them are going to switch over and be like, okay, I'm going to use the Xbox launcher now. For one, that launcher is still not great. Like, it's gotten a lot better since they introduced it, but it's still not great. Like, I still don't play it. I still like do not prefer to go over to it. I use it because of Game Pass. When I have Game Pass games, it's fine, it works. But Steam is still my place where it's like I want everything to be in Steam. So like for old players, for players who are already on PC, I feel like this isn't going to make a big difference. For newer players, this might be a difference maker in having people be like, hey, I'm just going to use the Xbox launcher now because I can use the Xbox launcher and have everything there. I can have Game Pass, I can have my Steam games, I can have this, I can have that, which would be nice. But for me personally, this does nothing right now until I see more and see what they're actually going for.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people would kind of be on your side though. Fusion is like, who is this for? I mean, is it for like the console player that wants to try to get more into the PC landscape? But at that point, just buy a PC or just buy something cheaper than whatever this new Xbox is. I'm curious. It seems like Xbox really does want to try to get in bed with Steam, try to figure out like some type of thing. I think the best case scenario for Xbox personally is just try to get some type of Game Pass on Steam. But also, does Valve really want that? Does Valve really care about that? It's a lot more to it than it seems.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I'm more surprised that Steam would be willing to play ball here with Xbox because I remember when these rumors first started, like probably about a year ago at this point, when they were like, yeah, Xbox wants like Steam to be on their platform, and they want their Xbox to be like they can play everything on it. I was like, there's no way, like Steam, why would you do that as Steam? Like that doesn't make sense. Kind of seems like it might be likely now, which is kind of crazy, and I do think I think at the end of the day, Xbox is going to be out. I could be wrong, but I think Xbox is going to be out of your traditional console release. Like, there's not going to be another Series X. It's going to be whatever PC-esque console they can make that still looks good in your entertainment stand, but it's going to be PC focused. I think that's what Xbox thinks the future of console gaming is. I think they just have a different future look compared to PlayStation. They're just both going in different ways. Who knows who's going to be there's no winner and losers at the end of this. We already know who won, but like who knows what's going to pay. Like I think Xbox's plan could pay off 10 years from now. We'll see. But yeah, I think they're kind of just out of. I think they are going to get out of the console market as more of a whole, and they're going to be like, hey, we just want everything to be all at once. We're going to build a box that's strong enough for a PC and can have Windows and can do all this other stuff, and it's going to have Steam. And I think that's what Xbox wants. And I think that is enticing for a lot of players. Is it going to be enough to like sell the box or whatever they're selling? I don't know, but I think at the end of the day, it's a cool approach compared to they already know they just can't put out a new Xbox because no one wants to just buy the new Xbox. It needs to have something like this to be enticing.
100%. Well, I think it's time we move in. Oh, sorry. Did you have something, Jack?
No, I was just going to quickly ask. I got this from the Friends Per Second podcast. They asked this question to everyone, and they said, "What would it take for you to buy the next Xbox?"
I think actually nothing. Like I don't know. I'll be completely honest. I pretty much just use my Xbox if I get a review code. Thank you, Xbox. Or if what's it called? It's a case. God, my brain just shut off for a second. Backwards compatibility. So like I was playing Sonic Unleashed there for some fucking reason. But like other than that, why would I not just get a PC instead?
Okay, I was gonna say from a console perspective, say you were out on PC completely. Would them bringing their exclusives back make you own the next Xbox? If they were like, nope, nothing is coming to PlayStation again. The next Fallout, the next Elder Scrolls, all that is exclusive to the box. Would you get the box again?
Well, yeah, but that's not what's gonna happen though.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. But that's my point. Is it seems like that's the only answer for most people, but that answer is not gonna happen.
Even if they announced that, I wouldn't believe it until the day of launch because they'd just change their mind again.
Exactly. It's just a case of like I don't know. That's also the problem is like I don't know what other exclusives that would actually interest me other than maybe Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout, and those are years away. So then it's just like I don't know, like I don't really care that much about most of their other studios, at least personally. I don't know, man. It's weird. I think Xbox is in a weird situation, but also like you said, Fusion, maybe they kind of come out and it's like, wait, actually they were way ahead of the curve and this was a good idea.
I think they will be, but it will be that classic Xbox thing where they're way ahead of the competition on what they should have done, but they're too early. So 10 years from now, they like try to readjust again, and by that time, it's like what they were doing 8 years ago was working. Like that was what is actually happening now. It like feels like maybe they'll finally get it, but it just feels like every generation they're always like a step ahead, but too quickly a step ahead, and the gamers won't adapt fast enough.
100%. Moving into our next story. So this is one that like on its face isn't that interesting, but you know, you delve into it as like the Switch 2 speculation is always exciting for me. Nintendo Life has a hidden 60 FPS mode in Xenoblade Chronicles X gives us hope for a Switch 2 upgrade. That said, if it could be better, gosh, it wouldn't be something. Why did this? Okay, shout outs to Ollie Reynolds. He put in his own voice in this article. I don't like when articles do that. The thing is, modder Massa Gretor has discovered that the game features a hidden 60 FPS mode that would be that would effectively double the performance from the 30 FPS currently implemented. At the moment, 60 FPS mode simply doesn't work as intended and can cause weird issues, according to Massa Gretor. In a subsequent post, they said that gameplay is rendered every second frame, so even though it outputs 60 FPS, you get, in fact, 30 usable frames. However, the theory that immediately came to mind for us is that Nintendo may well be looking to upgrade the game's performance for the upcoming Switch 2, maybe via some sort of frame interpolation, perhaps. Now, again, like on its face, like 60 FPS is Xenoblade. I don't care about Xenoblade, but this idea, Jack, of 60 FPS modes and performance modes for Switch 2, I'll be honest, the idea of performance mode next to Nintendo sounds foreign to me, but is this a possibility?
I was about to ask, what was the last first-party Nintendo game to have a choice between modes? I don't think they've ever had one.
I think Xenoblade 2 may have had something like that, but I may be misremembering.
I'm not sure. The only other thing I can think
it'll
is
do it.
maybe the game like originally was unlocked, and like last minute they decided to cap it at 30, and the mode is just left in the files.
True. Yeah,
But
that's a possibility. But do you think it's possible this is just like, hey, Switch 2, when that happens, this is like a free upgrade and it switches to 60 FPS?
it would be nice. um,
It would be
I'd,
nice.
I'd, I'm not sure. I'm finding it hard
Yeah.
to really imagine Nintendo doing stuff like that, but
Well,
it'd be
imagine if
great.
they did. Imagine though, Breath of the Wild at 60. Oh my god, like that would
That
just be
thing
insane.
that thing struggles to hit 30. It'd be nice.
Exactly, and then we could just hit a beautiful 60 FPS. Ah, man, I would love this, but like you said, it's like it's kind of hard to imagine with Nintendo specifically trying to do this type of thing. But hey, who knows? Maybe we're proven wrong. Maybe the Switch 2 is more of a kind of like customizable interface than we're expecting at the moment. Moving into our next story, we got some details about FBC Firebreak, a game that Fusion is very excited for. Set 6 years after Control, it's up to 3 players, but playable in solo and duo as well. So already doing something that fucking Night Rain isn't. Thanks, FromSoft. No grind or FOMO. Just get together with your friends over the weekend for a good time. Play for 20 minutes or several hours. Use cursed, altered augments, special tools made out of paranormal objects. And then there's a whole lot more details from there. But most interestingly here will be Steam Deck verified, coming to Game Pass Ultimate and PS Plus Extra Day 1, and releasing summer 2025 on PS5, Xbox, and PC. Fusion, I know you're very, very excited. You love your Remedy games. Did this new trailer kind of like scratch the itch of like, oh yeah, me and my friends are jumping in on this day one?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I thought this trailer was. I mean, from the get go, I was kind of in on this game. I remember last year we talked about it. You hated it, and I was like, I'm into this. Um, I
Man,
think,
maybe I am
but
just a hater. I'm sorry, guys.
but it is that thing where I like that for one. It's a win that it's on every streaming. Like, if you're gonna make a multiplayer game, like at this point, you have to be like, okay, we're gonna be on Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just do that because then, like they say, no FOMO. Like if me and my friend decide, hey, we're gonna jump in over the weekend, we can jump in over the weekend, and I don't have to feel guilt about being like, I only played that for 3 days because I already have Game Pass. So like it's just a thing where I can jump in, play with it because I have friends who like Control, so I can convince them, be like, hey, this is Remedy's thing. There's gonna be some Control lore here. Let's just shoot some guys and learn some more lore in the universe, and I'm sure I can convince them and we can have a good time. Would it be nice if it was like even deeper than that and I played it for like every few weeks I would go back and play it and they added new stuff? Yeah, that would be my hopeful. That's what I hope for it. But in a society where it feels like there's a new multiplayer game every month that's grabbing your attention and wants to do this and like wants you to buy their battle pass, I strongly doubt this is the game that's going to grab my attention and bring me back every week. And I think Remedy knows that, and that's why they're putting it on these subscription services, and that's why they changed this game from when they said it was going to be this whole live service thing. Like they went back on it because I think at the end of the day they realized, hey, we don't have the true sauce for a multiplayer game to have someone return every single day. Let's just put something out that's fun that they can play for, like they said, 20 minutes or 20 hours, and whatever the gamer gets out of it, they get out of it.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think what you said there is very much more like it's where I think this game could succeed because I have said like I'm not really sure why they're doing something like this, but knowing it's not really a live service gets me a little more like, okay, maybe this has more of a chance to kind of like do something interesting. And this kind of idea of like it comes out and it sells reasonably enough, it gets a lot of players onto Game Pass and PS Extra, and it's like people are into it, and it's like now you got more people that are hopefully gonna check out Control 3 or Control 2, sorry, and like whatever comes out next from Remedy. I I do wonder, do you see a situation where like, hey, 6 months later they kind of come out in a financial report, they're like, hey, it didn't perform anything, like it was not what we needed it to perform or sales wise. Do you see them kind of shifting their strategy completely away from this type of thing? Or let's say the inverse happens, it's like, wow, it way went above our expectations. We're actually going to start supporting this thing. That type of thing. Like, do you see like any which universe like either of those things happen?
I think if a universe were to happen, it would be it underperforms because I think Remedy games in general are still they're not super mainstream. Like we know Alan Wake 2, like just it took them forever to get 1 million sales. And I was super happy about it. And like they seem happy about it. I don't know what the sale numbers are now. But it's like Alan Wake 2 scored 90s. Like people it was that game of the year. Like it's still and I get it's a horror game, but like people are still not into the Remedy universe. That's why I'm hoping that's why I don't expect this to be some big seller, but at least at the end of the day, I hope the people who do jump in and play it, maybe they'll like the lore enough, like you said, to hey, I'm gonna pick up Control now, or I'm gonna pick up Alan Wake, or I'm gonna do this, and like introduce myself to this world because this world seems cool. Like I'm gonna play these other games that are set in the world. I think that's their plan. It's kind of like for me when I played Back for Blood. That was what it was called, right?
Yeah, Back for Blood.
Okay, yeah, Back for Blood. Like it's like I
Horror.
played. Me and my buddy played that. It took 7 hours. We did that over a weekend, and we just played through that. And it's like I haven't thought about that game in my life up until this moment, but it was a fun weekend. Like we played that, and I can't. And that game wasn't very great. I would put a lot of money that this FBC project would be a lot better than Back for Blood was, just because of the quality that Remedy is.
Bold
So it's
prediction,
like,
man.
so it's like if they can just get that, if they can get maybe maybe 1 million people, 2 million people to just get in on a weekend, and they can at least say like to investors or whoever they're talking to, whoever they got impressed, they'd be like, "Hey, this game brought 2 million players in." Like I think that would look good for them. But I hope it's not a thing where even if it finds massive success, that they're like, "Okay, we're gonna pivot and make more multiplayer games." I don't see Remedy and Sam Lake in that style. I think Sam Lake and Remedy they really like what they're doing now, and they want all their stuff to go into like single player Remedy universe building video games. I doubt even if this sold 20 million. I mean, maybe if it sold 20 million, they would do another thing multiplayer wise. But
Mhm.
to me, when they already backed out of, hey, this was an initial big live service game, and they scaled it down and made it less live servicey and more like that Left 4 Dead style. I think that already showed them. They already crunched some numbers, and they already knew that, like, hey, this isn't what we want this studio to be.
Yeah, I think you're cooking. I think pretty much everything there I agree with. I am so curious to kind of see where this kind of game goes for Remedy, and honestly, when we see Control 2, like and Max Payne 1 and 2 remake are first actually, and I wouldn't be surprised if we at least saw those games this year. Probably maybe at like a TGA or something.
Yeah.
That's it
When do you
for
think
all
this game
the.
comes out? I know they
Oh
said
well,
summer, but do you think like if you had to put a month?
I would say honestly, right now July is pretty sparse. Right now, it's just Tony Hawk. So maybe like a July, like late July type joint. Like, hey, it's a summer game. Like, you guys are on break. It's in the middle of the summer, maybe in between vacations. Like, throw it in around there. That honestly makes sense to me.
And you don't think it could be Shadow Drop?
A shadow drop, like what? Like
Yeah.
at what event?
Like okay, well, like say, um, Summer Game Fest trailer comes out today because it's on the streaming sites. Like I mean, it's gonna be on Game Pass and everything. So I feel like that could
Yeah.
like. Does this game would this game perform better if they were like, hey, out today after like a nice Summer Game Fest trailer, or would it do better if they were just like out on a random July day?
Dude, I don't know because I feel like shadow drops are always like 50-50 chance where like sometimes you get the hi-fi rush where that could have benefited from a marketing cycle. I think honestly you put a good point. It's like this is the type of game where a shadow drop would actually be beneficial because it's like, hey, here's a multiplayer game that's on Game Pass like right now. It's like, yo, let me get some friends together, we can check it out. Yeah, no, I could see a shadow drop actually, like maybe like an SGF or the Xbox presentation.
We'll see.
I don't. They haven't announced the Xbox presentation yet, right?
Correct.
We know it's happening, but like
Yeah.
it is interesting. They haven't even said anything about it. Well, that's
Or
it for
what
all
would
the
you? I think
news.
Jack was about to say something.
No, I was just gonna say
Okay.
probably not SGF because they have said summer, and in the financial report it was what Q3, so it's probably more like July, August, September.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
Gamescom. I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
Gamescom. But
yeah, I can see Gamescom. This would definitely be. I feel like this game is more of a Gamescom game than a Summer Games Fest game.
yeah, maybe a little bit of a smaller stage. That makes sense. Well, that's it for all the news, or is it, ladies and gentlemen? It's time for the NPD guessing game.
Oh,
NPD
Ooh.
for February 2025 came out. Did either of you look at the top 20 games of the
I
US?
didn't even realize he'd put it up. Was that today?
No, I think it was yesterday actually. March.
Huh.
Oh no, it was 2 days ago, March 19th. Genki pulled it up for me on Twitter, so shout out to him. Let me tell you, there's some fun ones here. All right, don't disappoint me like you did last time with this
No,
guessing
I'm
game.
going to. I can promise you. Maybe Jack will
Just
clutch up, but I'm going to mess up.
what
Here's
period does
the
this
easy
cover?
one. What's number one? It goes from February 2nd to March 1st.
Okay, so Monster Hunter.
Yeah, Monster Hunter is number one. I'll say
Crazy.
this:
I would have thought of the game.
6 games are brand new. You would have not thought of Monster
No, I
Hunter?
would have gotten there, but no, that's not gonna work. Kingdom Come Deliverance too.
Yeah, Kingdom Come is number 2, which is actually insane. I'm really
Okay.
surprised by that. Shout outs to them.
Split Fiction.
Was
Fiction was not out.
Oh what? Oh yeah, that makes
yeah,
Yes,
sense.
this month.
What happened to Shame Fusion? Come on,
I
man.
know. I forgot.
God, I'm seeing one game that's like bringing back like really
Wasn't
bad
there-
memories of the last time Fusion played. Sorry,
Was there
Jack, did you say-
Madden?
Madden is number 10. And sorry, Jack, did you say something before that?
Oh, I said the new PGA Tour game. I think that's out.
Yep, PGA Tour was number 4. I'll tell you now, I
Wow.
did not know that came out.
I didn't know
That-
it was selling like that. To be
Dude, no.
honest,
Number 4 PGA
Okay,
Tour.
so
You guys are still missing
let-
number 3.
Avowed. It's probably not number 3, but it's
Avowed?
Avowed on there.
Avowed is 7.
Oh, that's not
Not
bad.
bad.
Yeah,
Not bad for a game that's on Game Pass.
Exactly, yeah. That's pretty good.
What are some of the spots? FC will be on there.
Yeah, FC is number 12.
What's the one that
Right,
you like, Fusion?
MLB The Show. Was that out yet? Or did that? I don't know if that's out.
MLB The Show. That is not out.
Okay.
That's a
College
March
football
game.
on there.
Yeah,
That's the
college
one.
football is 16.
Dang, that's actually crazy. It's still on the list.
Honestly, yeah. Is college football still going on?
No, it ended in January, so that's what it's been
Oh,
gone for 2 months.
I guess people are still just like, we might as well jump in on this because it's cheaper.
I think of some other new games.
You're missing
Civ
2 new
7?
games from February. Civ 7, that's the other one, number 3.
Good one.
And then one
Dang,
more
number
game
3,
that's
wow.
brand new to February.
There's no, I mean, I doubt it, but was Lost Records on there? And then that came out in
Lost
February.
Records, Bloom and Rage. Oh man, you're right. That was actually number 1. No. Could you imagine, man?
Those are crazy.
Well, Hogwarts Legacy will obviously be on there somewhere.
It is number 15.
Dude, that's the how. Oh, it's still on there. Is GTA still on there? Or no?
Yeah, GTA 5 is number 9.
Oh my gosh, dude. It was
Dude,
that
there's certain
PC
games that-
update. It got updated on PC.
There's 2 more like kind of, or no, 3 more like 4 more. Okay, there's a lot more perpetually selling games now that I'm reading this.
Mario Kart 8.
Mario Kart 8 is not on there.
Wow.
Most likely because like what they're called, the digital sales aren't included.
Was Sniper Elite on there? I know that came out. I forget what day.
No Sniper Elite.
End of January.
Okay, I'll ask this: what was one of the best-selling games from last year? 2 of the best-selling games from last year. You guys still haven't gotten.
Last year.
Black Myth
One of them is a
Wukong.
yearly franchise.
Oh,
No, Black Myth
yeah,
Black Myth.
One of them is a yearly franchise, and the other one was a massive explosion hit.
Oh, Black Ops 6.
Yeah, Black Ops 6. That's one of them. That's number 6. Which
Astrobot?
honestly, Astrobot is number 20. It's still hanging in there. God bless it, man.
Nice.
What's interesting, Black Ops 6 went from number 1 to number 6. And I think it really just came down to like the new games are selling better.
Yeah. Monster Hunter takes its crown.
There's one sports games you guys are missing. You play
We said
football, you play
NBA?
soccer. Yep, NBA 2K25. Number 5. Sold better than Black
Oh.
Ops 6. And I want you to know, Fusion, it's because of the Luca deal. I bet you that's why.
People had to buy the game just to feel something. Then to trade them back to the Mavs. They're like, I can't do this.
God, I'm still mad.
Oh.
Is
one more
Pirate
new game.
Is Pirate
Yeah, Pirate
Yakuza on there?
Number 8.
Oh,
You
wow.
guys
Did we
got all the
have the
new
full
games.
top 10? Or are we missing a game
You
in the top 10?
have no. You guys got the full top 10. Congrats.
Yay.
At least we did that.
Okay.
Doing better than we had last time.
Is
yeah.
Dynasty Warriors anywhere to be seen?
God bless
Yeah.
you, Jet.
67.
God bless you. No, that's me. That's crazy. No, Dynasty Warriors isn't there. Okay, let's go through the last ones. What's the best selling game of all time?
Minecraft.
Minecraft?
Yep. That's number
Oh,
11.
wow.
What is major IP license game? You got Hogwarts. What's the other one that's always selling?
Well, I wanted to say Star Wars Outlaws, but that didn't even make the
No,
last
no.
year's.
It's
Okay,
a
let us-
major Marvel IP.
Major Marvel IP.
Oh,
Marvel
Spider-Man
Rivals don't
2?
count, right? Oh, Spider-Man 2, yeah.
Spider-Man 2. Okay.
Yeah,
That took
yeah.
longer than I expected. Okay.
I forgot. Well, I forgot. I just had the PC release just dropped.
One of Rockstar's best-selling games.
Red
Red
Dead.
Dead Redemption 2?
Yep, Red Dead 2. Okay. You guys. Okay, you still haven't gotten this one. Best-selling game last year. That wasn't Call of Duty.
Thought the best selling game last year was Wukong.
Yeah, so did I.
Multiplayer.
Concord, of course.
No, it's not Concord.
And
Close.
Marvel Rivals ain't on there, right? Because it doesn't cost
It's
money.
published by the same company that did Concord.
Oh, Helldivers 2.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah.
17. All right. My Beloved.
Wow,
one of
I
my
actually
favorite-
can't believe it's staying on there.
Next one is My Beloved, one of my favorite games of all time. You guys know this?
Final Fantasy 16.
Okay, that's not funny. That's not a funny joke. I don't think that's a funny joke.
Is it a platformer?
No, think about it. Think about it. What is like the one developer you think of when you see me?
Rockstar.
Oh, the other one.
Oh, Elden Ring.
Konami.
Elden Ring. There you go. And then this is the one that gave me PTSD from last time when Fusion and Bench played this game.
Oh, do you think I remember?
Dragon.
Oh, Dragon Quest, Dragon Age.
Oh my god, it's the same thing, Fusion.
Oh no, Dragon Ball.
Dragon
Dragon Ball.
Zero.
It was Dragon Ball. I knew it.
Oh my god.
I was just playing with you.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys did pretty well, at least for the most part.
We got in the top 10 easily. After that, it's a bunch of games that are like could be anything.
It could be anything. Just think of what the best-selling games are.
I don't pay attention to sounds like that, bro.
One day, I'm gonna make sure that I play this game, and I'm gonna show you guys I win. I could do way better. But yeah, Monster Hunter Wild, though. By the way, it's number one after like 2 days. That is insane.
That is pretty crazy.
kinda-
And I heard the
I mean,
game was bad, so that's crazy.
I think it sold like 8 million in like a day. I might be wrong about that. It was like a very
Something
short
like
time span. But yeah, Kingdom Come 2, honestly, to me, is like the really cool thing of like that is a niche game and it's number 2. So it's like maybe it's not as niche as we once thought. So shout out to Warhorse.
If you had to predict what's number one next time, I'm saying Split Fiction.
In March? I think it's still
yeah, for
Monster
March.
Hunter.
I'm gonna say Assassin's Creed.
Oh,
That's a good one, yeah.
yeah, that is a good one. I don't know. I feel like Split Fiction, didn't they say sell something crazy already?
Yeah, it's 2 million in a week for Split Fiction, so it's very possible Split Fiction is number 1, which that's
Assassin's-
way more deserving.
Assassin's Creed's 1 million in less than a day, though, so.
Yeah, the thing with Split Fiction,
Yeah.
it gets cheated because like 2 million sales, but that's 4 million players. You know what I mean? That's the one thing. That's what always impressed me about It Takes Two. It Takes Two sold 25 million copies. Imagine if everyone had to buy a copy.
Dude,
Like-
it's insane how well that game sold despite and that's the thing, Fusion, though. It's like I feel like that many people bought the game because of the friend pass, though. And I just
Yeah.
think that friend pass is so cool. It makes my broke ass friend I'm able to play games with him.
My prediction for March will still be Monster Hunter at number 1, but it'd be cool to see any of the others.
I can see Monster Hunter still kind of hanging in there. Like that game is gonna be the big seller for this year for sure.
Yeah.
Moving into reviews of the week, we got 3. One of them you guys have actually been playing, and we'll get to that in a minute. But Assassin's Creed Shadows sitting at an 81 on OpenCritic, which is around what we were predicting. I think I said like 82, 83. So pretty close. PC Gamer gave it an 80 out of 100. IGN gave it an 8 out of 10. Eurogamer a 4 out of 5. Gamer a 9 out of 10. So overall, you're kind of seeing like sitting around the 8s and 9s, or 8s and 7s more so when it comes to this game. So seems like critics were pretty high on it. I will say it was interesting. I saw the kind of reviews that Fusion would throw into the Discord when the thing came out before the Open Critic, and all the reviews were, "This is the best Assassin's Creed in years. This is this and that." I'm like, "Wow, okay, this must be like an 87 or something." And it's like an 82. It's like, okay, I guess Fusion cherry picked them, I guess.
No, I think terrible. I just think I was about to say the same thing. I think half of I don't know. It's been a while since I've read reviews. And I'm like, the things you're saying in your review does not line up with the number you gave it. Like they'll be like,
100%.
it's the best Assassin's Creed, blah blah, 7 out of 10, but they gave Odyssey 5 years ago like a 9. I'm like that. I mean, well, I know you can't like look back on reviews, but I'm like some of these things doesn't make any sense. Like Gene Park's review, like I understand it, but like he talked all about it, like how it was so good, but he doesn't like the dual protagonist approach. So he docked it an entire star, which on Open Critic brings you down to like a freaking 80% or something off the rip. So it's just like there's so many reviews with Shadows that I read where I'm like, it sounds like this reads to me like an 85. And it's an 81 still fine because we all predicted low 80. So like this is what I predicted, but it's weird to see the reviews and the words used in the reviews and then a number given, in my opinion.
No, it's fair. It's always been kind of a issue with review scores in general because it's always this idea of like, how do you kind of distill all your thoughts into effectively a number? And that's why I always like recommend that people kind of read the reviews. But you're right. It's like in a lot of ways, like maybe review scores are kind of they're always an indicator, but it's always tough to like fully grasp like what number do I give this game, despite all my faults, but like I had so much like fun with it, basically. Review scores are tough. I'll say that. And also I want to bring up Assassin's Creed Shadows has passed 1 million players. You mentioned that earlier, Jack. So 1 million players in a day. I mean, is this
it was like less than a
enough?
day. It was a few hours.
True. I will say it says 1 million players. They're doing the Xbox thing, so it's not 1 million sales, but either way, it seems like it's doing well. I am very curious. It's like, is that enough for Ubisoft? Because I almost look at Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed, and they're like, we want 4 million a day. We want 5 million a day. They want like kind of unrealistic expectations for what this game needs to do for their company to kind of stay in business, stay around.
So I was like looking at the other Assassin's Creed games just for a bit of context to see like what did they do in the first day, and to be honest, I couldn't really find much. I think Odyssey did about 1.5 in a week ish. I could be mistaken. I think that was just an estimate. So when you like put it in that context, it's not so bad, especially considering Odyssey went on to sell loads. So this is probably about right. I do wonder if it's quite what they're expecting, or because this will be one of like a big seller throughout the year. So I don't know how to judge it just yet.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those things that we kind of have to like maybe wait a bit because Assassin's Creed games, they have tails. They have long tails. They sell, especially like after like sales and whatnot. They will sell like into the tens of millions eventually, but day one, like usually you're not going to see the crazy numbers out of them. Moving into our next review.
I was gonna say real quick. I think they should be happy with this. I mean, the game came out on a Thursday. We're gonna like that number's gonna. I think whenever it's Monday or Sunday night, whatever happens when we see the weekend numbers and how much that increased then, I think it's gonna go up a lot. I mean, even right now on Steam charts, it's 50K concurrent players, which is pretty good because this is the first like time they're actually launching like on Steam and they don't have the Uplay thing. You don't have to go to the Uplay and all that. Like 50K concurrent's pretty good. Yeah, it's not your Kingdom Come Deliverance freaking 300,000 or whatever number Kingdom Come Deliverance hit for theirs when they came out, but I think totally different games. I think the majority of Assassin's Creed players are on the console. They're on your PlayStation. I think when I think of like the PlayStation 5, I immediately think of this Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I think millions and millions of PlayStation players are going to jump into this. And same with the Xbox. Like to me, Assassin's Creed never been a huge thing on PC, and I think Ubisoft knows that. So I think even just seeing that 50K concurrent on Steam, they should be proud of that.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely like Is this the case though? It's like, should they be happy with it or is it enough? And I think that's the more interesting conversation. It's like, is like 1 million sales in less than 24 hours, like that is really, really good for most franchises and most companies. But I almost wonder if Ubisoft needs it to be a lot more for them to be able to stay independent. But also maybe the writing's already kind of clearly on the wall. And it's like Ubisoft, no matter what this game does, like they were still going to get sold off. I'm very
I will
curious
say,
what it goes to.
you
Go
go,
on,
Jack.
Fusion. I was just gonna say, this game could
Take it too
sell
long.
like 5 million over the weekend, and I still don't think it would be enough for Ubisoft right now. So, but
Fair.
I would say their quote of them being, it sounds like they're super happy with the performance already when they were like, when they tweeted out, they said it's not even 4 p.m. here and we've passed 1 million players. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts, blah, blah, blah. I feel like you don't tweet that out unless you're like actually super happy about because I mean, that is truthfully insane. Like it was like, I felt like it was 12 hours, and they're like, "We're past 1 million." Like it just happened. And
Oh,
again,
that's
we'll see
good.
over the weekend. But same with Jack. Same thing with Jack. I think this game could sell 5 million over the next month, and I don't think it's enough for Ubisoft because they have like nothing else other than Assassin's Creed right now. It's like Ubisoft's in a way bigger issue than just Assassin's Creed Shadows needing to sell good. Obviously, it needs to. Like, it needs to have great sales. That would help. But I still think they're in a bigger issue of just as a company as a whole having all these IPs that feel like no one really cares about anymore, and then the IPs that people care about have been dormant for years and years and years.
Moving into our next review of the week, Atomfall, the game from Rebellion, who do Sniper Elite. It has a 76 on OpenCritic. PC Gamer gave it a 62 out of 100. Eurogamer a 3 out of 5. IGN an 8 out of 10. The Gamer a 4 out of 5. So kind of around what I was expecting. Honestly, I was expecting way lower. I was expecting around the 60s for the OpenCritic, but 76. I was reading up some reviews, checking out some gameplay. It's like, I'm actually kind of into this, but I don't know if this is a game I would need to get to right away. I do like that post-apocalyptic open world fever, and Bethesda's not doing that anytime soon, so I'm kind of like, okay, well, maybe this is the next best thing. It's not going to be as good as a Fallout, but it's like, I want something of that ilk. So yeah, maybe I check this out eventually. You guys have any interest in checking out Atomfall?
just to point out, it's actually gone up to a 79 since then on OpenCritic, so that's pretty cool.
No, it actually went back down
That's
to a
the
76.
76.
Yeah.
Oh, I just refreshed it right now, and it just said 79. Oh no,
It
it's
keeps
Mine's
coming
just-
in.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
mine's
fine.
just 76. It's going down.
Look,
The game sucks.
yeah.
No.
Send in another review, boys. We got to bring it back up.
No, my
Go ahead,
bad.
Fusion.
This makes it because Jack posted earlier in the Discord the 79. I was like, oh, that is higher than I expected. Like 79 was higher. 76, kind of the ballpark I wasn't expecting. I was not expecting like the 60 like you were. Like I thought the game looked good enough. Like I thought it would just be fun to play. I saw the IGN review compared it to Elden Ring, and they were getting people mad about it.
That's something.
I don't know who the reviewer was, but yeah, they brought up Elden Ring, and then people were like, "Why would you ever compare this?" Like Twitter, classic Twitter stuff. But personally, no, I honestly don't. I feel like I should be more into this than I am, but for some reason, I don't know if it's the name, whatever, being too close to Atomic Hearts. It's because every time I see the game, I'm like, I feel nothing. Like I have no desire to play this game.
I definitely thought about it before Assassin's Creed got delayed to this month. Like, if that hadn't been delayed, I probably would have played Atomfall. But now it's like just on the back burner. Maybe I'll get to it eventually.
I will say, reading the IGN review, the way they compare it to Elden Ring is more so like, oh, you kind of dropped into a world without knowing much of what to do. It's not like they're saying it's Elden Ring. So
All these games stole it from Hell Is Us or whatever it's called.
yeah, the game that's not out.
Yeah. I know where FromSoft took their inspiration from. They had a secret insider.
Okay. Moving into our last review of the week, coming out from Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, the game that reviewed the highest, but we have the least interest in. 88 on OpenCritic. IGN gave it a 9. Nintendo Life a 10 out of 10. No, it is not. Come on, Nintendo Life.
Nintendo Life's
Digital
never
Transfer
given
4
anything not a 10 out of 10, so.
I don't know. I saw them tear everybody 1-2 switch apart, so that's something. But Eurogamer a 4 out of 5, Destructoid a 10 out of 10. See, I just don't believe those scores. But yeah, 88 out of 100. Shout out to Xenoblade fans. You got something. All right, well,
The
that's
only
it.
Xenoblade I know.
Listen, I just like talking shit about Xenoblade. I am actually happy that the series is doing well, and it seems to, it has a very passionate group of people, but like a very passionate group of people for sure. I don't know if you guys saw it. There was like people writing review guides. It's like reviewers, this is what you have to know about Xenoblade X. It's like I think they know. Like you guys can calm down. But it got an 88, so victory for them.
I will
I'm
say I had a
surprised Bench is
mild
playing it.
panic. I had a mild panic with Bench because because Bench predicted like a 90 or something really high, and I said if it gets a 90, I will play this game. And when the reviews first dropped, it was a 90, so I was.
Dude, honestly, it's like I would never try to make a bet like that. I learned a long time ago not to make bets with Bench because somehow, some way, the universe aligns for him.
It is super impressive just how much of it. I know it's only a few points, but like 4 points up from the original score is
No, for sure.
pretty good, especially for
Yeah, the original
usually.
was rough at launch.
Yeah, that's true.
I've always
Go ahead.
this is like Xenoblade the franchise like I low key wanted to get into, but every time I see it, I'm just like this feels like I don't ever want to sit down for 80 hours on my Nintendo Switch and play a JRPG. I just can't imagine it. Like I understand like people do it all the time, but I cannot do it.
I'll say this, Fusion. If I can't get into a JRPG franchise, I feel like it's less likely you'd get into it. I mean, maybe it's possible, but it's just I think we're slightly aligned in taste with JRPGs at the very least. Maybe, but I don't know. I will say I actually did have way more interest in this one than other Xenoblade games because of the mechs. And everyone was talking about the mechs. Like Gene Park was posting a lot of videos of the mechs like flying around. I'm like, this looks awesome. And I was like, literally reviews. It's like you don't get them until 80 hours in. It's like why? Like the cool part of the game, and you're like, I gotta play through the entire shit. I don't know.
Dude, I know. I saw Gene Park's review. He was like, "I'm 133 hours in." I'm like, "How?"
Oh yeah, he was obsessed
and
with it.
And he loves that game and loves those worlds, but it's just like, dude, I could not. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, it's Switch, and they don't look half bad, like visual wise. They're probably the best looking Switch games, but like, I could not. I just can't. I can't. Every time I think about it, I'm like, I could barely. I like Triangle Strategy a lot, and that like 35 hours on the Switch was already enough. I can't imagine a 90 to 100 hour game on the Switch.
To me, I can't imagine most games being 90 to 100 hours.
Well, yeah,
Like,
that is just true in general. But
I will admit something to you guys. I was looking up some reviews of the Atelier Yumiya. Honestly, I'm kind of into it. I might check this out. Honestly, I know it's a weird pick, but I'm also like, I kind of like the way what this game is cooking. Just call me crazy, try to stop me. I don't know. It looked interesting to me at least.
I've never been seen it, so I couldn't stop either one of them.
Oh yeah. Let's move into what we've been playing. I haven't been playing jack shit. I honestly, I'm realizing as a podcast host, I kind of suck at this because I don't play any new games apparently. I have just like there hasn't really been much for me until May right now. But we got two big releases. I'll let you guys do the talking for Split Fiction and Assassin's Creed Shadows. Fusion, you've been playing Split Fiction. Tell me all about it.
I'll tell you the 2 hours I got with it over one day.
Tell me all those 2 hours.
Dude, those 2 hours are great. I mean, it's like, I mean, you probably understand the pain where it's just like, I played those 2 hours. We played 2 hours on Sunday night. And the entire week at work, I'm just sitting there like, I want to play this video game. And I'm so mad that it's co-op only and I can't just play this video game. Like any other game, I could just load it up. But the fact that I have to have my friend, which is fun to play with them, was just like, it was so good in those 2 hours. I mean, like we were just doing all like the side stuff, all just the new ideas. Everything was a fresh new idea. It looks gorgeous, ran great on my PC. I was like obsessed, and it's just like every day I've thought about I want to play this game so bad because it was that fun and that only 2 hours, and I can't. I can't play it. It makes me so upset that I have to sit here. I'm supposed to play it again today, so if I'm on next week, then hopefully I can give you a more in-depth review on it, but it is so good. Like it's so polished. I think the writing's already better. It feels better than It Takes Two. Like it's gameplay wise. I mean, it's going to be I'm not even kidding. 2 hours in, it's going to be a strong contender for my game of the year. Like it is that good already.
Wow. Just in 2 hours?
Just in 2 hours, I'm telling you, dude. I mean, like in these 2 hours, I'm like, it's all like, I'm not even trying to like over exaggerate. I think in these 2 hours, I'm like, this is better than It Takes Two.
Wow.
Just like
I
the
mean,
things they have already shown me, and like I know a lot of people, like a lot of reviewers, are talking about you've seen nothing because apparently the ending's insane. Like whatever they do at the ending, even Bop said that. Like he said the ending was one of the coolest things he's seen in gaming. Like I don't know. I'm just really obsessed with. I don't know if it's just they're playing straight to my heart with doing the whole sci-fi is my favorite thing, and then fantasy is my second favorite thing, and like already going back and forth between the two different worlds. Like it's just so cool. They did such a cool job, and it's like I already care more about the story in this than I ever did about It Takes Two. My biggest gripe with It Takes Two was how bad the story was. And it's like this is already a better story to digest. I hate It Takes Two story. I know that might be controversial, but I think it's dumb. So,
I think it's depending on the person you ask. Like it's not that unpopular of a take. I like dysfunctional marriages, so like that's why I'm into it. But I get it.
that book pisses me off, dude.
Dude, I love the book. It's like he's such an asshole. But anyways, though, but Split Fiction, it's like its narrative is grabbing you a lot more. It's like more what's it called? Anti-corporation, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's kind of
yeah.
what I'm hearing.
Basically, you're two writers that you meet up. You go to some big firm, like some big publisher that's like trying to. They're trying to like you're there to pitch your ideas, but you quickly learn they're actually just stealing your ideas. You know what I mean? They're just taking your ideas. So like it is very anti-corporation. Almost feels like I'm sure there's some underlining thing with Hazelight and them like being mainly independent. They get EA's help, but I feel like they're way more hands off. Like EA's way more hands off with Hazelight than a lot of these other studios. Like I very much, even though it's about like book writing and stuff, it feels very in line with like video games today and like how a big corporate publisher tries to like pull all the strings and like make all the plans and all that. It feels very much in tone with like how the gaming industry is right now.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's just that it looks absolutely insane. Everything I've seen about it. I love the phone that
Oh
clip
yeah.
has been circulating a lot. That is awesome. It's one of those things. I am very curious. I mean, Joseph Pharisee said in an interview, like with FPS, they're already working on the next game. Like that is absolutely insane that that they're that good at making stuff at a very fast and reasonable pace. I was really surprised when this game came out when it did. It was like a 4-year cycle from It
Yeah.
Takes Two. It's like that's insane. And it's like that's a team of like what, like 80 people. Incredible stuff there. I love Joseph Ferris. I love
Did
that
you
team.
see that story about the like secret level those people beat?
Yeah. No, it's like they're the first ones in the world to, or
Yeah.
at least like first ones to kind of video
And they get to
themselves
go
beating
to
it.
see the next game. I'm like, that's how cool is
awesome.
Joseph Ferris and Hazelight? Like they put this thing in the game, and the first two people that beat it get to go to the studio and see their next game. It's like that's how like that's a dev right there. You know what I mean? Like these are the
Exactly.
people where it's like I was kind of upset when It Takes Two won Game of the Year back in
No,
2021.
I
Whatever.
remember.
Like I was a little upset.
2021.
But Hazelight at this point, I mean, have only made banger video games, and they're getting in the echelon of when Hazelight releases a game, you have to be there. Like it's
Yeah.
that thing to me where it's like Hazelight when Hazelight drops something, when they drop a trailer, it's a big deal now. And I think it felt that way slightly after It Takes Two, but after Split Fiction, it cements them as like,
They
hey, no,
solidified
Hazelight
it.
is a serious studio. They're not just this like small AA indie studio. They make really, really good video games.
Yeah, exactly. I think Hazelight, they're the studio to pay attention. We talk so much about like kind of these corporate execs, these people in suits, like the quiet develop. Like Hazelight is kind of just this antithesis to all of that, and they're just like, no, actually, we're completely different. We're doing our own thing. I mean, Joseph Fair says it up best. It's like we fuck shit up without fucking shit up. It's like that is such a perfect motto for what Hazelight's doing. It's like they do these crazy, insane games, but they work. They work perfectly. And very, very slowly and surely, me and my friend are going to beat It Takes Two, and I will be jumping on Split Fiction because, God,
You'll
I
be
just I
Split
want to
Fiction
play this
before
game so
me at
bad.
this rate. So
Yeah, really, dude. It's bro. I hate our adult friends, man. Like I'm at the point now. It's like I should have played with one of y'all in the Discord. I know most of y'all are unemployed, or at least like I
I
can
like
get
I would.
together more easily.
It's like me and my buddy, we're having fun and like we're gonna beat it. Like hopefully, I'm hoping we get a deep session this weekend and then maybe could beat it next week because like it's only like a 12-hour game. It is shorter than It Takes Two, which is nice. But it's like it's the fact that I had Binch in my DMs like every day saying, "Hey, if you need someone," and it's like I knew if I played with him, I would have beat it in 2 days. Like, me and him would have just beat it. I know for a fact we could have just beat it, but it's like, I told my friend I've played with the same friend on every other game they've put out, so it's keeping the tradition. It's just we
Yeah,
get
same
older
here.
every 4 years, and life sucks. So
No, it was the same friend for me. It's like, well, we got to stick with it. It is funny. It was like we're at the clock tower. What is that, like halfway? And It Takes Two.
yeah, probably.
That's halfway. God. Okay, so we still have a shit ton left to do.
It Takes Two was really long, dude.
I don't know if you remember that platforming section where it's like that really difficult one where you get a trophy out of it. And it's like you climb up like a tower in the clock area. But I got it done in like 5 minutes because I actually play platformers. He was legit struggling to do it for like 30 minutes because he just does not play platformers. It's like, no, I have to do this. It's like, dude, we are going to, we got to get out of here. It's like, I have to do this.
Wasted our whole night.
Exactly. I was like, God damn it, we're not gonna get anything done because of this. But yeah, shout outs to Hazelight, It Takes Two, and Split Fiction. Very exciting. Now we gotta talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now you guys are still early. Jack, you said you were 7 hours. Fusion, you're about 2, correct?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, like, I want to, as much as you guys can talk about it, being still pretty early on for this game. Does it live up to just the immediate expectations? You got to get more time with it, that type of feeling. Like, I want to hear all about it.
Do you want to go first, Fusion?
Yeah, I'll go since I have less time. Right off the bat, very pretty. I mean, Assassin's Creed games already, and mainly Ubisoft games, always like visually are very pleasing. This one is like very like a step above. I think even Valhalla, which I thought looked really good, but Valhalla at this rate, yeah, that's 4 years old, or no, 5 years old. I think it just off the bat looks very pretty. Like everything looks really good. Jack will have to agree or disagree. I'm 2 hours in. I think it's very slow at this point. I mean, and when I mean slow, I mean like I've played 2 hours. I wouldn't be surprised if 80 minutes of it, maybe like 80, 70 minutes, has been cutscenes. Or some of that, or some talking, or something where it is a lot of talking right now, setting up the story, setting up the narrative, setting up this world, where they give you a little gameplay section for 5 to 10 minutes, take it away, give you another one for 5 minutes, take it away. It's very much, I'm still in that tutorial zone, which I was not expecting because I feel like all the other Assassin's Creed, you kind of just jump in from the start and you can just explore the open world. Where this one, I feel like puts you specifically in a certain amount of like setup missions to get you started. So I don't have a lot to talk about in the gameplay. So far, what I've played, I think it feels good. It doesn't feel anything incredible. It feels like a step up maybe from Assassin's Creed Valhalla when it comes to like the sword combat and like the katanas. I've only like assassinated like a few times because again, I'm only 2 hours in and a lot of it is cutscenes at this point. But from the stealth I have done, it is pretty cool. They added a full prone, and I've already like been proning in the grass and getting some assassination kills because I fully expect to play this game only like stealth mode, like as little as much. Like I don't want to just go in there and swords are blazing. Like I want to assassinate everyone I can. Hopefully everyone's a one shot assassination. I'm not sure on that. I know some of the other Assassin's Creed sometimes you got to like unlock certain abilities before everyone can be one shot, which is dumb. But
Yeah.
hopefully that's not the case here. But yeah, overall, I think the characters Naue, you get to meet both of them, and I don't have much to go over in 2 hours, but like they both seem cool right now, but nothing crazy. I think the voice acting has been fine. I tried to do Japanese, and I couldn't. Like,
Oh,
I just couldn't do
wow.
it.
Wow.
I did because I did.
Canceled.
There's some games where I think the Japanese voice acting feels astronomically better than the English voice acting. I don't feel like this is one of them. Like I feel like the Japanese voice acting is just fine.
That's
If it was
interesting
like
because I feel the opposite, like, or at least like what I've heard from is the opposite, is that people weren't into the English dub and they wanted the Japanese. But maybe I'm completely wrong there.
and granted, I haven't met a lot of those like NPCs and side characters to know how like the less important characters will talk. I have seen some clips where like certain store vendors and stuff, they do seem like really bad for the English, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. From like the main protagonist and the quote unquote villains I have met so far, the English voice acting is actually pretty good. But from like just walking around the world, yeah, I haven't got to the point where I'm like, oh, this sounds worse, and I can switch it at any moment. But like it wasn't enough for me to be like, hey, I'm gonna play this game for 50 hours and read subtitles. Like, especially in
That's
an
right. You're not a
Assassin's
big
Creed
Dutch
game.
guy in general.
An Assassin's Creed games where I feel like you're constantly running around, your character's constantly talking to himself or whatever. Like, I don't want to sit there and look at the subtitles the entire time. I just want to hear what's happening. Like, I just want to be able to get the story, get whatever through the English. So like, at that point, yeah, I'm stuck on that. And I did not choose the canon mode. There is a mode where the game will make choices for you, so it takes the choice out of the player. I decided I like my choices. I kept it on. We'll see. I'm never going to replay the game, but it would be cool to like analyze after I beat what the choices of canon were compared to what I made.
You're a big fan of choices mattering in a game,
Yes, I like when my choices matter. The only thing is,
but
Assassin's
you like the
Creed
Mass
games,
Effect 3 ending.
I had a choice.
No, it's not it's literally not. Whatever. We're not getting into this. But anyways, as Assassin's Creed games
Four
with
choices
choices.
in that game.
There is
But yeah,
but
that's the
three.
point. Assassin's Creed 4, if you were good and did everything. Assassin's Creed games are like, yeah, I don't really care for the choices, but I did hear like in a skill up review, like he said that choices were actually pretty good in this game. Like he didn't like the story, but he said he was surprised that some of the choices actually have consequences. If they can do that
Cool.
late game, then I'm excited about the choices, which is why I didn't go the canon route because I've heard from a few people that like for once the choices actually tend to matter a little bit. Now, if it's a game where it's like the choices never matter, yeah, I prefer it just be canon and you tell me the story I'm playing.
No, that's fair. That's all fair. I think it's interesting that they still very much do that choice thing of like saying like, hey, you are still going to have this option, but we'll give you a canon mode if you don't even want to worry about all that. It's like I think that's pretty cool actually. Jack, Assassin's Creed fan number one. You've played every entry. This is your struggle franchise. We all got one. What's your thoughts so far? 7 hours in. How are you feeling?
I don't know if I'm Assassin's Creed fan number one. Fusion's liked more of the recent games than I have, to be honest.
I haven't played the
But
OG.
like you played Syndicate. Like
Yeah, you
most
played
people are out
Assassin's
by
Creed. I would never even think of playing.
Yeah. You played the
Wow.
DS game.
Okay, listen. Those DS
That makes
games,
you way
one
more
of them was
fan.
alright.
Dude, I love those DS ports. But anyways, continue. Assassin's Creed Shadows, how are you feeling?
I feel like I'm going to sound more negative than I actually am, just because I have a few
Mhm.
nitpicks. But first impressions are like, I'm having fun. I reserve the right to change my mind at a later point after a ridiculous number of hours in this world. But right now, I'm enjoying it. Like I say, I'm only about 7 hours in. I think I've just reached one of the major cities in the game. I won't say what it is, just in case someone doesn't know. I agree with Fusion. It is unbelievably pretty. It's jaw dropping. This game actually. Valhalla was already a stunning game. Definitely made use of the Series X and PS5, but this is another level on top of that. It is so pretty. I don't use photo mode much, but in this game I've been using it constantly. There's just so many environments that are really cool. So I couldn't help
It's very
it.
much yeah, it's kind of like that Ghost of Tsushima mode where it's just like, oh, this game is so pretty. I just gotta take pictures every 5 seconds, even if I'm not a big photo moder.
Yeah, kind of. It's and the thing is, like, even like the screenshots don't even do it justice a lot of the time because it's just, I don't know if you feel this way, Fusion. Most of like the actual beauty of the game is in motion, so you try and take a screenshot of it, and it's like, it doesn't really capture the moment as well. But I don't know.
Yeah, I would
Mhm.
agree. I think the way the leaves fall off the trees and like the grass swaying in the wind, like I think it adds a lot to like how visually pleasing it is, and you don't get that in like you said a screenshot.
Yeah, have you like seen many of the different weathers that have hit the
No, I
game?
haven't
Like,
seen any of them yet, but like the one that the
yeah,
game starts you in.
they are really cool. Like, I got caught in a storm at one point, and you got to like see the lightning above you. That was really cool. There was a really heavy rain at one point, and like everyone was just drenched. All the villagers were like hiding under cover, so that was really cool. Um, but yeah, it's I so with Fusion saying about the slow start, I do get where he's coming from. There are a lot of cutscenes, but more than how slow it is, I think the pacing is just ridiculously bizarre. Um,
Oh,
you
really?
you'll have like a tutorial section, then it will sort of set you free into the open world, so you'll start learning things yourself. And then you'll have like a flashback sequence where you'll have a tutorial for something you've just taught yourself in the open world between flashbacks. So you're sort of going off on your own, doing things, and then having a tutorial for the things you've already done. It is really bizarre, but I think that's just a consequence of the way they chose to tell the story.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something else. Like, one of my
These flashbacks, is it a case of like you're getting a good story out of these flashback sequences, or it's like why are we even doing these?
it's helping flesh out the character. I'm not sure if I'd call it good yet. I'm interested to see where it goes, but none of them have been like, oh, this is really important. So I'm just
Yeah.
they do.
You
I'm
only
definitely
play as Naue in the beginning, right?
Yes. Fusion, is it? It's not really a spoiler to
It's not
say
a
that
No,
you've
spoiler.
had
I
the
don't
It's
think.
first
not really.
No,
moments.
I wouldn't say it's a spoiler.
You open with Yasuke. The first
Okay.
moments of the game are with Yasuke, and then like, but it is like maybe 5-10 minutes, and then you play as Naue. And like I said, I'm 7 hours in, and I haven't even seen Yasuke since then.
Yeah, I
So
think it was a weird choice for them to start the game off with him. I don't know. I guess we'll see, but I feel like it's a weird choice to literally play 5 to 10 minutes of him and then be like, "Hey, you actually don't see this guy for another 12 hours."
yeah, I agree. It's bizarre. Um, my I think my biggest nitpick with the game right now though is just the tone. It is all over the place. There are so many like moments where the story is trying to be super serious, and it just comes off as completely ridiculous. There's a moment like, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a moment like before one of the big assassinations, and there's just this ridiculous slow-mo scene of all of the characters walking towards him, like running, waving their weapons in the air, and it just
Like
doesn't work
Suicide
with the rest of
Squad.
the game. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
No, I haven't got there, but I just like I can picture like a Marvel like Guardians of the Galaxy slow mo up to like the scene.
Yeah, it's weird. And then there's another one where in one of the flashback sequences where some weird rock Japanese fusion thing starts playing as these people ambush a target,
I just did that.
and it's just so, I hate using this word. It's really cringe. And don't get me wrong, like Assassin's Creed's always been a bit weird tonally, but this is worse than usual.
It's worse
Maybe
than like fighting the Pope and the Golden Apple of Eden in like
that
2.
that feels different because it's not like you. While it's trying to take itself, it's funny because it's taking itself seriously. Whereas
Yeah.
this feels like it's trying to
It's
be
a weird
cool.
tonal change.
Yeah,
I say it's not the exact same, but do you remember Final Fantasy 16 where you fight Titan and it goes super hard
Oh.
rock music, like the rock music sets it?
Yeah, it's
kind
like a
of,
weird
yeah.
techno beat.
Yeah,
That was
it's
weird.
like similar to that. I think Final Fantasy 16 makes a little more sense, but like it is almost similar to that where like all of a sudden you're just in the scene and like heavy metal starts playing and you're like, what am I watching? Like this is an Assassin's Creed game in Japan.
Yeah, it's.
Dude, that was my favorite part of 16. I was like, yo, I want more of this.
I did like it in 16, but also that game was just like, it was supposed to be completely out of control. It was weird. This though, it's again because these moments happen like around them trying to tell a really serious story. None of them work. But
Yeah.
maybe going forward it won't bother me as much. It's just right now I have so little that I can really say about the game, so I think the nitpicks stand out a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping would you guys be down to kind of do like a spoiler cast for this game when you both eventually beat it?
I'm
We
down.
could do. I guess it depends how interesting the story ends up being. Because if the story's kind of like whatever, we could probably summarize it on a pod.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like a spoiler cast, also just like final impressions of the game because this is probably arguably one of the biggest releases of this year. Most likely at least in the first half of the year. So I would like to see some very extended thoughts on this game. Even though I'm not going to play it, I'm just interested to kind of see, like, is the quality of it going to be enough for Ubisoft to kind of dig themselves out of this hole? Because I keep hearing such mixed aspects about this game, man.
Yeah, I purposely avoided all the reviews because I just wanted to sort of go in blind, but I get what you mean.
Fair.
It is probably going to end up a little divisive, if more on the positive side.
So far, I opened the map for the first time. I'm like, the map doesn't look giant, but I'm just praying there's not more to the map that I can't see right now. Because like it doesn't look giant, but I'm also like, if I could very easily be like, this part of the map up here kind of looks like they could just add an entire thing up here, and they probably do it late game or something, which would piss me off. But like, I mean, it doesn't look as big as like Valhalla or Odyssey, and it's like, I know it's still gonna be probably pretty big. Like I know all the reviews were like 40 to 50 hours. But I can handle 40 to 50 hours. It's once you get past that 50-hour mark on these Assassin's Creed games where I'm like, it just feels so bloated and such a bigger issue than it needs to be.
I don't think I've ever met anyone who beat Valhalla.
I beat
it's like
Valhalla.
that-
I sadly did. Took me 82
Oh wow,
hours.
okay.
But I got there. Yeah,
I went from
I beat it.
0 to 2. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I beat
It's just like
Valhalla.
the game is so long. Like, why is it so long?
It
It is
took me less
fascinating.
time than Odyssey did, to be honest. Odyssey took me like nearly 70 hours. Valhalla only took me about 50.
That's the thing with Valhalla though, is like Valhalla's main story is longer than Odyssey's main story. But Odyssey has more just map and like things you can do outside of the main story. My biggest issue with an open world game is when your main story itself is like 50 hours. You know what I mean? Like, if Valhalla's main story was 20 hours, cool. If I spent 50 hours, 20 of it on the main story, that would be a big difference. But I promise you, I hit about 45 hours in that game and mainlined the rest of it and still ended at 80 hours. That's how long the main story was for Valhalla, dude. I mean, it was like it was outrageous. I can take a big open world game. What I can't take is a big open world game that has a massively long story. It's almost like I don't think Red Dead Redemption 2 does it better because you could beat Red Dead Redemption 2 in 50 hours, like the whole thing, like 100% it. But it's like it's the thing of Red Dead Redemption 2 main story by itself. It's like if you mainline that game, still 40 something hours. That's a long game compared to a GTA 5. If you mainline GTA 5, 20 hours. It's like I prefer,
Yeah.
and they're both giant games. I prefer my open world games to have a more medium-sized story than forcing a gigantic long story because then the extra stuff in your open world feels like bloat because the main story is such a slow drag.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I think it's a case of like, oh, we created this big open world. We want to spend as long as possible in it. It's like, well, no, actually, just let the player themselves decide what they want to do in that open world while you tell a story that's not forced to paste itself in a weird
Yes.
way just to account for a much longer narrative. It's
Like
like,
I
no,
don't know.
tell the story you want to.
I don't know how long Shadow's main story is, but I'm hoping it's like between 20 and 30 hours. And I think that would be perfect for this game because then if I spent 50 hours into it, that means I spent 60% of it exploring the open world and then 40 of the main story compared to 80% main story in this open world game and 20% exploring. And it's like those are when I get really mad at open world games.
I've asked this from the start. Considering you guys beat it, did you like Valhalla?
No.
Spent 50 hours on it. I was like, this game sucks.
I like Valhalla.
That's fair.
I remember giving back in the day, giving it an 8. I don't think I'd give it an 8. I think that was just like it was like next gen. You know what I mean? I was hyped. I
Yeah,
think it is like a
you get the
7.
new console.
Yeah, I think it is a 7. But it is that thing where the the ending payoff is so bad that I was pissed. That I was like, I spent 80 hours for this to the point where if someone asked me today, do I start Assassin's Creed Valhalla? I would tell them no every single time. But I don't think it's a terrible game. I think the gameplay of Assassin's Creed Valhalla is pretty fun. Like being a Viking and just going through. They did like the taking over villages and like stealing, like all the gameplay stuff of Valhalla was pretty good. But the story stuff, especially when they get super into like the Norse mythology, oh, it's so bad in that game that I'm like, I could never recommend this game to someone because it's so long. If it was 30 hours, I would recommend Valhalla. It's just
Yeah.
not 30 hours. It's 30 hours in the tutorial.
Interesting. That is just man, that's fascinating how long that game is.
I
Whenever
will
people
say
are talking about it.
something very refreshing about Shadows was getting the title card within the first half an hour. That's something that
Yeah.
Valhalla and Odyssey definitely didn't give you.
Yeah. You get the
Oh, man.
title card in Odyssey like 12 hours in. It's so long.
I don't know why that's been happening a lot in games lately. It's just like it's the title. Just do the title card, man. It's annoying. But yeah, shout outs to Assassin's Creed Shadows. Seems like it's doing well in the reviews. Seems like you guys are enjoying it. But yeah, looks like April's gonna be pretty big. Obviously the Switch 2 Direct is in 2 weeks. That's gonna be the best day of my life.
So excited.
But then we got new releases: South of Midnight, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. We have some PS5 ports: Forza Horizon and Indiana Jones. Oblivion remake. Getting a lot of rumors right now for April. Right now, we talked about that last week. I mean, of those games, like what do you guys like? Really like? I want to jump into this immediately.
Personally, South of Midnight.
Okay, it looks
That
cool.
new-
It's very pretty.
That new South of Midnight trailer that they showed at Future Games was like probably the highlight of the show. It was so good.
Interesting.
I'm just ready for like. I feel like I had Citizen Sleeper 2. That story, love it. I feel like I haven't had like a really good. Like I just played Avowed. I thought the story was fine. I'm expecting Assassin's Creed Shadows to have a okay story. Like at Ubisoft, their stories are always mid. Like I'm in the mood for like a 10-hour really good story game with a little bit of fun gameplay, and I think that's what South of Midnight's gonna deliver. I think South of Midnight has shown me enough of, hey, we're going super heavy on the narrative here, and it's very interesting and unique that like that's why I'm most excited about it, because I just want to get lost in like a new story.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with that. Like, yeah, I just after playing Dynasty Warriors and Monster Hunter and them both having abysmal stories, I'm like, yeah, South of Midnight's going to be really refreshing.
It is interesting. I feel like I want these good stories in games to be like a bit shorter. Because like, I have all these JRPGs and it's like, yeah, I enjoy a good JRPG, but like they're like 40 to 50 to 60. It always feels like it's like weirdly like a lot of the good stories in games nowadays are limited to these really long RPGs. It's like give me that nice 10-hour game with a really fulfilling and interesting narrative. I would like more of that right now.
Yeah,
It just feels kinda hard.
my favorite story games are those Last of Us 12-hour games, the Silent Hill 2s. You know what I mean? The dead like game where it's like between 10 and 15 hours and you're going to get a fantastic written story. Because I feel like once you get out of that range, you're either like a very, very good Western RPG or you're a JRPG. And then everything in between is just like terrible writing. You can only make writing go for so long. Like you can't be 40 hours and stick perfect writing unless you're Persona. Like it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, and even then, that's not really the case for some time. Like there's a lot of stints in Persona where it's like, oh wow, you guys hired the B team here. Okay,
You have to sub the B team in.
it's a B team. Yep. All right, well, boys, I think that's a good podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. We talked a lot about good stuff. Slow news week, but again, it feels like the news is really going to start ramping up when we hit April. Obviously, with the Switch 2 Direct. God, it's like I'm counting down the days. We're 2 weeks away. I'm just so ready. I'm so fucking ready.
I'm excited.
We're gonna hopefully in the next week we're gonna do kind of a Switch retrospective, a Mario Kart retrospective, some fun content ideas there. Excited to get some people on for that. Maybe get Bob, Jack, all that type of people, and talk all about Nintendo. It's gonna be a very Nintendo focused couple weeks over at Slice of Gaming, which I am very excited about. But with that, I think that's the end of our podcast. If you guys want to find us, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever your favorite podcasts are. We are going to be there. Like the podcast, any type of support helps, and follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming. With that, say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Play Split Fiction, please. Please support Hazelight.
Assassin's Creed Shadows needs you.
Yeah, buy them also. Ubisoft is going under.
They need as much help as they can get.